How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to continue talking about some of the more spiritual subjects that I'm going to be talking about on this channel. Today it's definitely going to be about meditation, how to do it in kind of a basic way for any beginner, and to kind of squash out any of the things that are very common norms of what people end up being afraid is their problem or is their complication, and how easy it really is to just solve and continue forward and see really great progress in a very limited amount of time. So one of the primary things is people will always think that you have to follow some specific lotus position with sitting, things of that nature, and it's just not true. While those things have their benefits and they could be probably viewed as more moderate to advanced methods, they're not absolutely necessary for anyone to get started in meditation and start seeing real success with meditation. Just being able to sit down in a chair, sitting upright, being able to have an erect spine. Ideally, you want to be sitting in a way where you're more sitting up if possible, so that you aren't reclined and possibly going to just put yourself into sleep. Within that, you're going to, whether it's sitting in a chair, sitting, or even laying in a bed, if you aren't the type that falls asleep quickly, even laying down is a fine method for meditation. But ultimately, just sitting as comfortably as possible. You don't have to not cross your legs or things of that nature, but just sitting in a comfortable manner is really your starting place. And being able to then take breaths in a controlled and measured way. So the next step within that is obviously the breathing aspect. They talk about your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system, and interestingly, your ability to go into a restful state, your ability to go into a healing state and come out of fight or flight is really completely based on how long your out breath is versus your in breath. And if you're breathing out longer than your in breath, your body has no clue if you're being chased by something any longer. It just knows we must not be, because we wouldn't be able to breathe in this manner if we were being chased by something. And so fight or flight can turn off and parasympathetic can turn on. And so whether it's a 3-second in and a 4-second out, or a 2-second in and a 7-second out, as long as your out breath is longer than your in breath, this is key, and it's really amazing. The next big step, and I think this next portion that I'm going to talk about is really where you're going to start seeing your success or not. If you can get those two base things down, which obviously should be pretty simple, these are the things that are going to help you see the success that you probably have thought was eluding you. So sitting up, getting a good controlled breathing. People will complain that their mind is what's getting them. I can't stop thinking about this. I can't stop thinking about that. These things are on my mind. There's this old story and joke that, it's like, try not to think of a monkey. Try not to think of an elephant. And no matter what you do with the mind will take any form of action and it'll just use it. I liken your mind to like a bathtub full of water. It doesn't matter what the thought is. Any thought will create ripples and will cause everything to just go out in fashion. So the trick with the mind, which is weirdly simple once you realize it, is to quit paying attention to it. And a lot of people are like, well, how do you do that? Well, it's as simple as changing your focus. What you do is you focus on something that you can concentrate on. What I do within my meditations, and I've found tremendous success with it, is just following your breath. And so as I breathe in, I imagine that I can sense and feel all the air coming in and filling my lungs and filling into my belly. And then as the breath naturally wants to leave after 2 to 3, 4 seconds, I let it out. And it weirdly has not been hard to let a breath out for 7, 10 plus seconds. It's not necessary, just as long as your breath is, you're breathing out longer than that in breath. So again, as simple as it can be, sitting up, getting your breath, 3 in, 5 out, it's fine. And following that breath the whole time. Now what's going to happen is you're probably going to follow 2 or 3 breaths, maybe 10, and your mind's going to drift off. And you're going to be thinking about your day. And this is really key right here. So do not get frustrated that these things are happening. Do not beat yourself up because there's just no value in it. As soon as you recognize that you have drifted off, be excited about it, because that's a success. It's a success in being able to notice that you drifted off. Because now, from the moment you've noticed you've drifted off, you can now take that, come back to the breath, and follow it again. And you would be surprised at just being kind to yourself, at how just following that breath, not beating yourself up, and essentially turning it into a game of follow it in, follow it out, follow it in, follow it out. In just a few short days, you're going to see a significant improvement. If you stick with this week after week after week, you will see how much you have just improved and how much your mind, or like in India, how they call it the monkey mind. The more monkeys you think about, the more monkeys there are. The mind will just naturally calm down on its own. And as you've created this new habit and your body knows, oh, we're doing this breathing, we're sitting in this very obvious position, we must be doing this thing again. And so like you're building a habit or developing a skill, it just starts to get better and better and better. And in just a few short weeks, you will notice that your ability to stay focused on your breath for 15, 20 minutes goes uninterrupted. And you'll come out of these moments experiencing the type of stuff that people talk about in meditation when it comes to the calmness, the serenity of mind, the peace in the body. Whether or not you start having any of these transcendental type things that are spoken about in the spiritual community or not, I can't say. Everybody's journey is their own. And then the last piece that you absolutely want to strive for, in my opinion, is an uninterrupted practice of this. Meaning you go every day. It doesn't matter if you go for 5 minutes and you're pissed off and you're gonna just butcher the entire meditation. It is more important that you stayed committed, not just to the practice, but to yourself, and being able to go, you know what, no matter what my day's ever gonna be, I'm gonna make sure that I put this time in, that even if it's just 5 minutes. A 20-minute daily practice is a huge practice. It's amazing. If you're knocking out 20 minutes a day, you'd probably be really surprised at how much you end up enjoying it and how much you look forward to it. What I've done for the last few years is, no matter what's happening with my day, and I aim to meditate in the morning and in different parts of my day if I have the ability, but ultimately I don't count those. Those are Times I use because I enjoy it. Times I use because if I'm having a stressful day, if I'm dealing with depression, if I'm dealing with anxiety, any of these kinds of things, this is a reprieve. This is a place for me to go, almost like a cave, and find a sense of calm again in a controlled way that I know I can do, in a way that has been loyal to me as I have been loyal to it. And so really it just comes down to those couple of techniques. Sit in a comfortable position, feet flat on the floor if you can. Try not to cross anything, have your legs out. You just ultimately want to be in a position where your body's not going to fall asleep. Out breath longer than in breath. Follow the breath. So key. Following it in and out, in and out, in and out. Distraction. Caught myself. Congratulations. That's a win. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Doesn't matter if you go down on one of those rabbit hole ideas and maybe you spent the whole 5 minutes of your meditation thinking of other things. This might be common for you early on, but that's okay. The intent to want to catch yourself, the intent to notice that you have drifted off is the win. That is the win. Because time and practice is going to develop everything else. Having the want to look that you're going to drift off is so huge. And then that last piece, is having some consistency to your effort. So I do it every night before bed. Every night before bed is when I do it, no matter what. I sit down. I know I'm about ready to lay my head down onto the pillow. It doesn't matter if it's been a long day. It doesn't matter if it's been a short day. It doesn't matter if it's been an awesome one or a terrible one. Loyally to myself, I sit down and I spend 5 minutes. Absolutely. On nights that I'm feeling like I want a little more and I enjoy it, I will go 10 to 15 max right before bed. But I can't tell you that there hasn't been probably at least 80% of my time as a 5-minute practice, probably essentially just to loyalty to the practice and to myself, to make sure I don't miss that day. And it's been a couple of years now, and I've knocked out 5 minutes every night perfectly, and perfectly loyal, that is. Plenty of nights those meditations probably wouldn't have been counted in any kind of group or spiritual group that would have said that this is what would constitute a good meditation or not. But that change alone has helped me to find at least the ability to have the option to have some calmness, some peace, some reprieve from life, and from how our mind will wander off, or how we'll get lost in rabbit holes of either things that just don't serve us well, or whether they're pain, or whether they're old memories, whatever it is. So that's my brief talk on meditation. In upcoming videos, I'm going to be talking about past and future stuff. With anxiety, I do stuff with cold plunges, 32 to 40 degree water, which is pretty common for the water to stay. I got a horse trough that I climb in, fitness stuff, and but mostly just what this channel is about is the journey to now, and now is right now, and it's always been now, and it's never not gonna be now, and that's what this channel will be. I'm super grateful anybody's here. I'm super appreciative to make these videos and to experience a community forming, and to be a part of the large community that's growing, and people are talking about these subjects and helping each other. And so like and subscribe if you enjoyed my content. I appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.